Yo, what is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Unbreakable Academy. I am just double checking my feed real quick here. I believe we're good, but let me just double check. Thank you so much for tuning in today for today's live video. Yeah, it's good to go. All right, so what is up? Thank you so much for enduring this little intro while I check the feed. This is the Unbreakable Academy. This is where we talk about ways to live an unbreakable lifestyle. And part of my unbreakable lifestyle is uh, my opportunities to be creative and express my creativity, and also to share my expertise and share my knowledge. As you may or may not know, I am the author of this book right here, Disable Your Disability, Live the Healthy Life You Deserve. It talks all about my personal fitness journey, and also it's a how-to book on how to do the same thing if you have a disability. So that is one venture of mine that I enjoy doing, is writing books, and I'm working on my next book right now. But another part of it is podcasting. And I'm so fortunate right now to be involved with three podcasts, to be hosting and co-hosting three different podcasts. So I wanted to share those with you today and talk about them. So we're going to jump over to the computer and I'm going to show you that right now. So check it out. The first one, the first podcast is, of course, Unbreakable with Tony. This is my personal podcast, and I started this a while ago, probably, gosh, I want to say 2 years ago, and it started off as Tony Talks, but as things have evolved and changed, it's now called Unbreakable with Tony, and there are some great episodes going way back that talk about some great things. People talking about OI-related things, osteogenesis imperfecta, talking about health-related things, getting healthy, staying healthy, things related to just having a disability. There's some great content here, and the podcast is great. I love the podcast format because I'm able to just kind of go off the cuff and just take as much time as I need to talk, unlike these videos where, I feel I want to keep them a little bit shorter. And who knows, in the future I may actually do a podcast here on YouTube, like something separate, like bring Unbreakable with Tony to the YouTube platform and actually do a video podcast. I don't know yet. Still working out the kinks on that. Like, I'm not sure if that's something that I want to take on, because just doing these videos alone is enough at this point. So that's the first podcast that I want to talk about. It's called Unbreakable with Tony, and you can find it at anchor.fm/Unbreakable with Tony. Now, all the links for these podcasts are down in the description, so you'll be able to just go down there and link to them right away and subscribe and like them. Now, all of the podcasts also are on all of the platforms. So the preferred is Anchor because it's such a great platform, and you can actually leave voice messages if you use the app on your phone. And it's a really cool way to listen to podcasts and discover podcasts. So it makes it super easy to make one too. So that's where all of three of these are hosted, but you can also listen on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. So if you listen on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify or even Google has a podcast platform. So I don't know, maybe you listen on there. I have yet to listen to a podcast on there, so I can't really speak on it. But Unbreakable with Tony, that is the first podcast that I want you to check out. Now we're going to jump to the next one. This is A Dynamite Life. And this podcast was just started a few months ago. It is hosted by myself and my wife, T. Marie. She's in the building. Woo! There she is. And A Dynamite Life is all about, gosh, what we've been through and the dynamite life that we are living. We cover topics like tiny living, financial freedom, dynamic relationships, entrepreneurialism, and being an artist. I know it sounds like a lot of topics, but we literally have done all these things, and we have experience, and we have knowledge, and we love sharing what we've been through. So that's why we have this That's why we made this podcast, so that we can share it with the world and share what we know with people, so that maybe people won't feel so alone, because a lot of people just want to niche down into like one topic, but there's so much more of a person. And we were like, let's make a podcast that talks about everything that we do, so that there's probably people just like us who are tiny living, want to reach financial freedom, they're looking for dynamic relationships, they're entrepreneurs, or they're wanting to be, or they're artists and they want to be creative. So we're like, yeah, let's talk about all this stuff, and just, give the people what they want. We got to give them what they need. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we started Dynamite Life. And you can check it out, anchor.fm/a Dynamite Life. Link is in the description below. All right. And you can listen on Spotify also. There's a link there, but, whatever. Listen on Anchor. I'm telling you, Anchor's a great platform. All right, and the final podcast is this one right here. I chuckle because it's so fun. This podcast is so much fun. This is called Shorter by the Hour. I host this with my friend Jacob Holt. He is a fellow OIer, and he had a podcast prior to this. Well, he has another podcast still. It's called the Ability Podcast, and he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, let's do a podcast together." And I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Well, what do you want to talk about?" He's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "I don't know either. So why don't we just start one and let's see where it leads us?" So that's what we did. We had this, common thread of osteogenesis imperfecta. I was interviewed on his on his other podcast. I keep seeing previous, but he still has the podcast. And from that we just started a relationship and getting to know each other. And so it's so exciting to do this podcast, because it really is just trying to figure out what we want to do. And we talk about everything. I'm going to just scroll down here so you can see a little bit of this. We have the alpaca chemistry episode, the I have no expectations episode, the goat yoga episode. These are just some of the titles. And the most recent one that was just released today is the samurai cop episode. Now you're going to want to listen to this one, because we actually review Revenge of the Samurai Cop. If you don't know what that is, you're going to want to listen to this podcast and find out. It's one of the best, worst movies ever made. So Shorter by the Hour. Yeah, it's a quirky podcast that is, just listen to it. It's hard to describe. You just got to listen to it and see what you think. All right? So those are the 3 podcasts. Unbreakable with Tony, A Dynamite Life, and Shorter by the Hour. All right? And I just want to share these with you guys, because, podcasting is so much fun. I love to do it. I think that it's a great medium for anybody to get into. If you enjoy podcasting, or if you enjoy talking, podcasting is the way to go. So make sure you check it out, all 3 of those podcasts. And let me know, what is your favorite podcast that you listen to? Comment below and let me know, all right? I'm excited to read all of your answers. In the meantime, make sure you get on the Unbreakable newsletter email list. It's a short email I send out every month that talks about being healthy, being productive, and being unbreakable. So who doesn't want that in their life, right? Link is in the description below for that. And yeah, that's about it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give it a like, share where you feel appropriate, and until next time, get out there and be unbreakable. Peace.